Meron ka bang interpretative dance, Chi, na aabangan namin?
Right now,
Ngayon.
joke. Ako, ito na to.
Teka lang. Sige, okay na. Sige, sorry.
Hindi, try na natin.
Okay, so ito na yung episode 7 ko. Ito na.
Thank you. Watch Runong all the time. Welcome to Runong. Runong.
Sorry, ano yun?
Ano yun? Shot safety. Balik ka na.
Okay na. Alright, welcome to Runong. We've got Sari and Chi Estrada here. I'm sure our audience by now have an idea who you girls are with that viral video. I don't wanna start with that right away, but maybe we can talk about it later. But essentially, you guys are stand-up comedians, right? Comedians in general. How would you define it ba?
Mas comedians.
Yeah, just comedians in general. Hindi kami nagsa-stand up eh.
Okay.
Hindi namin na-try mag-stand up.
But do yung mga, like, when you perform on stage, like, I saw some videos that you were doing that. So it's not automatically classified as stand-up. It's more of a comedic performance.
Like, we would classify it as musical comedy.
Okay. All right. And how long have you been doing this?
Okay, ito yung question na ano. Yung mag-perform on stage was 2019.
Okay.
September 2019.
Okay.
So yun yung like pinaka-unang formal performance, I guess. Bago nun, gumagawa kami ng mga like gagong video lang on our own pages.
Ano yun?
2010, mga gano'n.
2009?
Oh,
mga ganon.
So tagal na rin talaga na you've been into comedy generally.
Yes.
Matagal na kaming gago.
Pero, I mean, actually, I wanted to ask that. So, as kids pa lang, makulit na kayo, ganun. Talagang iba na yung humor nyo. How would you describe your childhood?
I guess, iba na yung humor natin as kids.
And sobrang na-expose tayo sa performance mismo.
Okay.
Parang mahilig kami sa
theater,
art.
ballet, mga, yan, puro performing arts. So, it was a big part of our growing up.
The family ba, always on the artistic side? Your parents, ganun? Or...
Parents namin, mas business people. Teacher sila ng Enderon.
So, very business. So, pero kaming apat kaming magkakapatid, lahat artists. May artistic inclinations.
Nice. And sorry, yung age gap nyo is like...
3 years.
3 years, okay. So, best of friends ba kayo? Ganun ba yun?
Yes! Best friend ko si ate.
Oo,
so
actually.
Proud.
Hindi ka binuli, Chi, nung bata kayo?
Hindi, binuli talaga. Binuli talaga. Kasi for years. And like, nag-stick sa akin yun. Pero, nagkaroon na lang ng point where, I guess, napagod na lang kami sa,
Parang may sense yun. Parang at one point, gusto mo try natin friends naman tayo.
Ito yung time na stuck tayo sa Lokban, Quezon for Holy Week.
Okay.
Tapos sobrang walang magawa.
And naging friends na lang
mag-band
kami.
na lang tayo, I guess. Kasi ano pang gagawin natin dito?
Ilan to kayo nun? Teenagers na kayo nun?
Like high school ako, tapos grade school ka.
So, I think
pero bata pa din yun. Hindi yun parang tipong 20s na, alam mo yun? So medyo maaga din. Maaga din nag-shift yung relationship niyo from bullying to friends.
Yeah, pues.
Kasi parang lahat naman di ba? I think pag may bata kang kapatid, matik yun Kasi ako gitna din ako. So, may kuya ako, tas 5 years yung difference namin. So, I have a sister also na 5 years din. So, 5. So, parang, hindi kami barkada, right? Kasi for example, kuya ko, patapos siya ng high school, papasok pa lang ako ng high school.
Ah,
Parang ganun yung mga ano namin. So talagang ibang-iba kami ng trip.
oo.
Actually, nakakatawa nga. Dahil syempre, saling pusa ako. Alam mo yun, syempre feeling big boy. Sama ako sa kuya ko, sa barkada niya. Right? So, as in, meron akong horror story. And my mom will probably hate me for this. Pero, yung first porn experience ko, syempre, sumama ako sa barkada ng kuya ko, di ba? Shit, kinder 2 ako, men. So, so,
So fresh. Sana umiyak.
so, so, talagang, ang masama nun, kasama pa namin yung cousin ko din, na mas bata pa sa akin ng 1 year. So siya K1, ako K2. Tapos, I think sila, grade 5, parang ganun. Tapos, syempre, Betamax pa yon, yung mga tinakatago sa mga tito, with the car rewinder, di ba? Parang ganun. Tapos, kailangan mo balik na parang walang nangyari kasi alam nila kung ano yung setup, di ba? Parang ganun. So yun. But yeah, I also encountered like massive bullying from my brother. First, of course, ngayon okay na rin kami. Parang yun nga, parang may stage, no? Na parang
Oo. At what point kayo naging friends?
nung lumaki ako sa kanya.
As in height?
And like, kasi I'm 5'10", my brother's 5'7".
Okay.
So parang tapos, well, I'm bigger. Generally, I'm bigger. So nung na-feel na yata niya na parang kaya ko na to. Nakaya ko na to. Na may kalalagyan na siya pag medyo, yon. So may physical, may physical. Kung siguro ko na rin mas maliit ako sa kanya, parang feeling ko hindi titigil eh. Parang, kasi galing din kami all boys school. So, Lasal Green Hills kami. So, parang, yung mundo din namin talaga, wala, parang ganun. Bullying, tapos, pagpikong ka, tayo supot ka, 'di ba? Parang ikaw mas kawawa ka. Parang ganun yung
Huli pa yung
Oo talaga. Oo talaga. I mean, obviously the generation now is much different. I have an 11-year-old son. Yung mundo niya parang tangina. Parang yan na yung bullying sa inyo. Parang alam mo ba kung ano yung bullying? The usual internet, 'di ba? Parang magko-comment, parang toxic people, like they're playing like Valorant or whatever game. Tapos biglang may magsasabi lang may trash talk essentially. So, oh my God, you're so toxic. You're such a bully. Parang pucha, alam mo ba ginagawa namin nung high school kami kung paano kami mag-bully?
So
like,
good to know nag-evolve.
Like,
Good to know it's not as bad.
Actually, yun nga yung ko dun eh. Is it good or is it bad? Right? Kasi, parang, syempre, part of old school, ang thinking, kailangan dumaan ka sa ganyan. Kasi the real world is, much more difficult. So you'd have to be able to manage the bullying and all of that. Or you have to go through that. Kasi, soft ka. I mean, yun yung programming, right? So parang like sa amin, I was raised that way. Yun nga, yung tigas. Kailangan tigas ka, kailangan thick skin ka, kailangan, yun nga, may certain level of pagkalalaki na kailangan, 'di ba? Ngayon, yung issue ko, kasi stepson ko yung 11-year-old si Alonzo. So, I met him or I became his dad 3.5 years old siya, right? So, medyo, lumaki na siya sa mom niya, sa grandparents niya. And sila, mabait talaga sila eh. Mabait talaga, as in sobrang opposite ko. So parang nung start, nagiging issue. Actually, until now, nagiging issue yun. Na parang for me, I find him too soft. Na parang, hey man, you have to toughen up. Hindi pwedeng ganyan, hindi pwedeng ganun. Pero syempre, nag-reflect din ako, tama ba yung sinasabi ko? Hindi ba mabuti na mas sensitive siya? Hindi ba mas mabuti na mas mabait sila or what, na hindi sila bully? I mean, hindi ba yun yung right thing? Kasi di ba yun nga, on one hand, they might not be ready like for the shit that's, gonna happen outside of school. On the other hand, hey, baka nga wala na yung shit na yun kasi mas better na yung mundo. Di ba? Na parang you don't have to go through that kind of bullying. I don't know, really. So, like, yun yung sa akin na parang I also catch myself na I'm being too tough. And I think sometimes I'm right. sometimes I'm wrong. Parang ganon. But I don't like yung palo, yung ganon. Wala akong ganon. Wala na yun. Tapos na yun. I don't know, kayo ba dumaan kayo doon? Sa palo?
Ako hindi.
Hindi,
Ako,
hindi ka na.
kasi ako yung bunso. So, napagod yung
Ah,
magulang namin sa
By that
pag-discipline
time, they
sa
were
akin.
like over it.
naubos na. Naubos na.
So, hindi ko nakuha yung or na-experience yung palo.
Ako kasi nasasampal ako tsaka napipingot ako parate. Kasi
Mm.
ang calling card ko is really yung pagsagot. Yun yung growing up, yun talaga yung primary, I answer
Go
back.
to move.
Oo, go-to move ko yun. Yun yung finishing move ko, parang ganon. Tapos yun na, pak, sampal or pingot, ganon. So, but yun nga, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in physical discipline, whatever. So, but yun, I mean, it's interesting nga na I think we're also part of a society, di ba, na that kind of discipline is also accepted or it's the norm. Parang, I still have friends na, I don't think they're wrong, right? But they still believe in palo. They still believe in ganyan because that's how they were raised daw.
Kanyang-kanyang parenting style
Yun.
lang
And
talaga.
wala, syempre, shit, hindi ka pwede magsalita, no? Tangina, pare, mali ka.
Yeah, kasi anak nila yun
Bawal yun, di ba? Parang yun ang pinaka-tabu na, na topic, no? But yeah, it's interesting, going back to bullying, lahat kailangan. Sabi ko dun sa anak ko, pasalamat ka nga, wala kang kuya eh. Or wala kang ate. Sabi ko sa kanya, kasi kawawa ka. Yung pinaka-baby ko is, now, is what? 2.5. So, hindi na rin niya mabubully yun. Parang love na niya yun. Parang ganun na yung relationship
Ay,
nila.
not age gap.
Oo. Parang baby yan. Baby talaga yan. Hindi yan yung putya pagtitripan niya or what. Hindi nila pagdadaanan yun. Okay. So nung naging friends na kayo, because you also performed together, ganun ba yun? Parang you did ballet or
Nag-aral
theater?
kami ng ballet together. Pero iniwanan niya ako. Ako na lang yun.
Well, kasi siya yung...
Gumaling ka ba? Gumaling ka ba, Chi, sa ballet?
Sobrang galing ko. So, joke lang. Hindi.
Sobrang galing nga talaga niya. Very, like, natural born
Yun
dancer.
yung course ko sa college.
What? Talaga?
Yes, UP.
Wow. Anong course yun? So, sorry, hindi ako familiar.
Okay lang. A lot naman. But it's under the College of Music sa Diliman. Tapos merong dance course mismo.
Wow. And, I mean, the idea when you got into that is because it was it's your passion. And the idea is parang you wanna like grow pa in your craft. Or...
Okay, at that time, parang mas goal ko, gusto ko UP. Tapos, nahirapan ako sa courses ng UP na hindi ko ma-figure out kung ano gusto ko talaga gawin. Tapos hindi ako pumasa ng UPCAT.
Okay.
Then yung tito natin, Tito Dino, minention sa akin, there are other ways to get into UP.
Talent test.
Tas talent test, oo. So, upon research, nakita ko sa College of Music may dance. I've been dancing since I was 6. So, nagulat ako din. At that time, I didn't know na may dance sa UP. So, parang, okay, maybe this would make sense. As under the College of Music pa. So, it's something, although I'm not really, familiar with the mga techniques and everything or lessons sa music. It's still an interest of mine. So, enter ako dun. Yeah.
Nice. And did you pursue it as in actively? Pag ganun, teka, pag kunwari yun ang course mo, diba usually pag may course ka, dapat may trabaho ka, parang ganun. So ano yung path nun?
Very limited, unfortunately. I mean, it's either you're a performer or teacher or pero parang karamihan nga ang napapansin ko, they go to a different country to pursue their
Yun.
dance careers.
Na mas developed kasi yung craft na yun elsewhere. Okay.
Ang daming at one point pumuntang Hong Kong for Hong Kong Disneyland
Sure.
kasi ang good, if I'm not mistaken, good pay, they take care of your housing, kasi you're taken
Saka
care of.
Disneyland yun, no? Parang
Yun nga eh. So,
parang, diba?
fun. Yes.
Okay. And is that the case? I mean, I have musician friends, no? But I'd like to think na, of course, yung kita is not the same as abroad, I would imagine, like in the western part. But it's pretty developed here, right? I mean, there's a good music industry, or there's a good acting industry. But dancing, yun nga, like to your point, wala. And
Well, I
I
mean,
would, I
meron
mean,
namang Ballet Philippines and
but
Ballet Manila.
it's extremely limited,
Oo.
right? And I would say the same for comedy, right?
Hmm.
Na parang
I
kasi
think,
kasi 'di ba si Red na yun nga na-interview ko si Red. Tapos parang sabi niya nung nag-start nga, tangina talagang wala. I mean, yung comedy dito is slapstick, is the Bastos, alam mo yun, the Tito Vic and Joey kind of comedy, right? Or the ano ba yung ano, yung medyo yung nampapahiya kind of, yung ganun type of comedy. Anong tawag doon?
Okray.
Oh,
Oo.
Yun yung term.
Sa
Kasi,
mga
no,
like mga comedy bar.
comedy bar, diba? I mean, it's fun. I've been to one.
audience members.
Pero yun nga, parang I don't think it's for everyone also, right? Kasi talagang parang may talagang bawal lang sensitive doon, 'di ba? Pag pumasok ka doon, talagang pwede ka talagang targetin, right? Parang ganun type of comedy. And sa inyo ba, like what's the comedy journey like? What has it been like? Yun nga, sabi nyo nga, you just like performing naturally, right? Yun yung trip nyo. And you've been doing this since what? As early as 2009. So, what's it been like for you guys?
What really opened us up to even considering doing it like in front of other people was just that show that we had sa it was in any kind of comedy open mic called Blagag, yun yung event, and I was one of the organizers.
Okay.
So I was trying to fill up the lineup. And para mapadali yung trabaho ko ng onte, sinabi ko na lang kay Chichi, gusto mo perform tayo? Or wala lang.
So,
Try lang na.
ganun ka random yun. So, parang wala talagang ito gagawin natin to, mag-start na tayo ng career dito. Hindi siya ganun.
Hindi
No, not
talaga.
at all.
Hindi talaga. Parang gawin lang natin para, para one person, one act down sa quota ko.
And nung time na yon, madali na bang makapuno ng venue or ng like yung mga pumupunta? Ano bang...
Okay, so yung itong Blagag, it was a very new kind of event kasi parang prior to that, like we weren't aware of any other event where it featured different comedic acts. Hindi puro stand-up. So parang it has stand-up, it has musical comedy, it has improv,
Magic.
and funny magic. So mix siya of different comedic genres. And so yung sinalihan namin na ano ba ta? Yeah, na show was the second Blagag we had ever mounted.
Okay.
And the audience was puno. Yeah. So lagi namin napupuno yung Blagag.
Okay. So
So
parang hindi niyo naman in-experience yung parang putya walang laman. Kasi side story din, before gumagawa kami ng mga para kaming prod, may mga gigs kami na ginagawa. Tapos syempre parang yun yung pinakamahirap, 'di ba? Parang nakakakaba, mapupuno ba namin yung venue, 'di ba? Parang sino yung line-up mo, sino yung mga banda na darating, parang outside of your friends. 'Di ba? Kasi syempre nakakahiya rin sa banda, 'di ba? Na parang prod kayo, umuo sila sa iyo, ang bayad naman doon Red Horse lang at kung ano man yung hati sa gate, right? So ayun ko, parang may grind na ganun eh. Yung Blagag, yung ginawa nyo na, that was 2019.
yes.
And it was pretty good, then the pandemic happened.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what happened. It's the perfect way to describe the trajectory of Blagag.
Talagang Blagag. Parang may
Blagag yung Blagag.
But, sorry, going back a bit, yung solid okay, sa inyo, ano ba yon? Sa inyo yon? Ano ba siya? Like,
Solid okay. Okay, ang nag-found ng Solid okay is partner ko, his name's Ryan Puno.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm part of the team, and then si Chi, like sinasali namin whenever we can.
okay.
parang bunso pa rin saling kit-kit lang talaga.
I wouldn't say that, kasi medyo
Parang
nirequest
ikaw,
ko na.
alam mo, pinapanood ko parang ikaw kaya lahat nun, parang ikaw yung primary, dun,
Wala na
talent dun.
kung mahanap siguro. Desperate times, alam mo yun.
Wala ka daw TF. Yun yung, wala kang TF.
Laki ng TF niyan.
Sila din managers ko. Bale, founder ng Solid Okay si Ryan Puno tsaka ate ko. Sila yung managers ko. So, for people that want to contact me, please message Ryan Puno and Sari Estrada. Thank you.
What's the purpose of that? What's the vision actually? Is there a vision? O trip lang din yung Solid Okay, yung Blagag or whatever? Oo.
Solid Okay, we are a legitimate company. We are registered sa BIR. So, hindi yata siya trip lang.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Yeah. Buti, sana. Okay. Legit siya.
So,
May income. Oh.
May income. Comedy studio kami.
Okay.
And
Nice.
so, it started out with sketch videos.
Okay.
So, parang online channel, just posting funny videos. And then, we got into doing branded work. So, mga digital ads. Yun. And now we branched out to events. We started Lagag.
Yeah.
Also started an event of live sketch. So, medyo mas parang theater yung feel.
Okay.
Which was also hampered by the pandemic. We were supposed to do, as in before the pandemic hit, kaming Solid Okay team, we were like, okay, full force na tayo sa live
Ito na
event.
yun.
Go na. Ito na yung gagawin natin muna. And then, pandemic. Hooray.
Kasi yun din, sorry to bring him up again. Si Red, kinukwento nga niya, di ba? Parang tuloy-tuloy na ang ganda na ng momentum. Kasi galing from anong year ba siya nag-start? 2007? Ano ba yun? Parang sabi niya kalimutan ko na anong year. Basta matagal na sila sa industry.
History mo, 2007.
Tinatry ko kasi befriend si Red kasi natatakot ako sa kanya. Pero familiar.
So, nag-shoot sila kahapon after silang dalawa, si Chi at si Red. Tapos yung goal lang ni Chi the whole time, as an ulterior motive niya, was going best friend si Red. Mukhang nag-succeed naman siya.
Okay naman. Kamusta Chi? Kamusta? Anong attack mo? Anong diskarte mo para... So, hindi kayo magkakabarkada.
Sa Solid Okay, kasama namin si Red.
Okay.
So, pero ni-intimidate kay Red. Kasi, ang laki niya eh.
Hindi naman sa laki eh. Hindi sa laki. It's
Okay.
more his personality. And I think, I don't know kung
He has a
personality.
very aggressive personality. Yes.
And although meron ako mga several sketches with Solid Okay, I've never acted with Red. So,
I see.
And
Parang mysterious being lang si Red para sa kanya.
Pero as nagagalingan pa ako sa kanya, so may respect talaga. So kahapon sa shoot, talagang gotta make my move na. I gotta make my move na.
It's now or never. It's do or die.
So, so mag-co-stars kami. So parang,
Low play mo ba o agresibo ka na agad from the game? Ano bang...
Hindi, playful talaga.
Cool ka lang. Steady ka lang, ganun.
Ang aga-aga ng call time. So, antok pa talaga ako nun. So, very natural yung playing it cool.
Oo, kasi di siya morning person.
So, si Red, mas mataas yung energy niya. Yun, nakipag-converse na siya sa akin. So, parang, okay, sige, Sige, gotta wake up. Para kind of make conversation.
Ano ending nyo? Tight na kayo, ganun.
Yung ending, gusto mo laman, nag-post siya ng story.
So, I guess that counts as best friendship.
Yun.
Accomplished.
Yun na. Success yung Congrats.
Thank you.
Kasi kinukwento nga niya, sabi niya, parang pare tangin ang ganda ng momentum ko, di ba? Sabi nga niya, naparong din si Chappelle, nag-open siya for Jokoy, parang yun na yung Tapos yun, tangin na pandemic. Tapos lahat lahat. Kasi syempre, live performers kayo, right? You do it in front of people. That's the model. And all of a sudden, all of that's taken away. For you guys ba, was it also tough? Kasi nga parang, sa kanya, sabi niya, yung crash talaga eh. Kasi sabi ko, pinacompare ko nung earlier years, nung walang nanonood. Alam mo yun, yung talagang sabi nga niya, pag in-invite kami ng bar or pag pumayag yung isang bar, ibig sabihin magkasara na yung bar na yun. So parang desperado na yun para magkaroon ng tao. So magsa-stand up, papayag silang mag-stand up para magkaroon ng business, right? So yun yung joke nila na, pucha, may magkasara na naman tayo ng bar. Parang ganun yung ano nila. So there's a long period where it was like really dry. 'Di ba? So I asked him, pina-compare ko yun. Was it tough? What's tougher? Right? Yung tagal na yun. Sabi niya, hindi. Yung tagal na yun, parang naglalaro lang naman din kami. Passion naman namin yun eh. So we were like building it, right? Parang gano'n. So, and wala namang expectation din. Kasi galing naman din sa wala eh. So kung may growth man yun, parang thank you parate. Tapos here comes like, yun nga, pre-pandemic, the momentum was great. As in, laki na ng mga TF, may mga project na, ganyan. Tapos hinugot. So sabi talaga niya, parang putang ina talaga. 'Di ba? So parang, sa inyo ba, like how would you describe also the impact of the pandemic to your craft?
Well, kasi definitely iba yung experience namin from Red because Red had a career pre-pandemic.
Wala.
Kami naggagabuhan lang kami.
Tamo, kaya tinanong ko talaga kung trip lang eh. Yun yung pinangano ko eh. Kasi yun yung tone nyo eh. Parang, yun nga, parang it was just light. Generally light.
Yeah. So kung for Sari and Chi, then yes, trip lang ang Sari and Chi. Yung solid okay, legitimate business.
Okay.
Pero Sari and Chi, we really just, wala, gusto lang namin. Parang, so we aim not to put pressure on ourselves.
Sure.
Parang, we just do stuff when we feel like it. So parang, it's not like, after putting out one video, kailangan masundan na natin.
Yeah.
Hindi.
Walang ganong
Walang ganun.
Okay. Kasi, nakaka-relate din ako kasi for Runong, di ba, dapat weekly, dapat ganito, dapat parang, I have a lot of friends, well-meaning friends who tell me na, keep it short, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, ganyan, yung topics, ganito. I'm like, ayoko. Parang, sobra na nga ako parang feeling ko neutered by corporate world, corporate life. Tapos here I am finally able to have a creative expression of sorts. The last thing that I'd want to do is fucking control that and like put corporate shit into what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Diba? So parang, I'm not saying that it's gonna be like this forever, but I'm also enjoying the ride. So parang, I totally get yung sinasabi nyo nga na for Sari and Chi, wala. It's relax. Kung enjoy lang. Kung ano naman yung lumabas, right? Kung ano naman yung creative output nyo, edi yun. Pero, okay, so hindi siya yung, okay, every week, kailangan may labas tayo ng ganito. Kailangan may short tayo. Kailangan may IG story. Parang wala kayong ganun.
Wala. You know, if there's one big thing that I'm really learning right now is sobrang walang one size fits all na way to do things.
Yeah.
And kunwari, like what you said na how you're going about Runong is very similar to how we're going about our stuff. And pero may mga advice from people na kunyari, it's good to stay active on social media, it's good to keep posting, or yung parang sa'yo, it's good to keep it short, mga 10 minutes, ganun. And I learned recently na parang some people are more when they create things, they're more about the journey, and other people are more about the destination. And there is no right or wrong.
Yeah.
So some people mas na motivate when they know where they're headed. Parang kahit anong hirap pagdaanan nila sa journey, as long as they know where they're headed and they like where they're headed, okay lang sila.
Yeah.
But for people who are more into the journey. It's more of, I'm not sure where this is going. As long as I'm enjoying every step of the process,
Yeah.
okay na ako.
Yeah. Ang nakakatawa kanina umaga lang, gumawa ako ng parang 10 minutes. So it's my first 10-minute video. So ginawa ko yung mga kasi later I'll ask you then parang ano yung karunungan or ano yung wisdom na pwede nyo i-share, 'di ba? So I ask all of my guests that. So yung unang 5, kung gumawa ako ng 10 minutes na parang yun yung kinompress ko. Kasi yun nga, algorithms and whatever, yun yung sinasabi, 'di ba? Keep it short. So, excite ako kasi parang feeling, ito na yun. Baka ito yung pwedeng quote-unquote mag-viral, right? Or whatever. Kasi eh. Tapos feeling ko naman may star power din naman yung mga tao dun sa ano na yun. So,
Sorry, ano yung video? Hindi ko na...
sorry, ano siya, parang kinat ko yung mga karunungan, yung mga wisdom na shinare.
Yes. Okay.
So, parang 1 per episode.
Okay.
So, 5 yun. So, pinagsama-sama ko. So, 10 minutes total. Pinost ko kaninang umaga, 8 o'clock. Kasi yun daw yung oras di ba? Parang, basta whatever. So, pinost ko. Tangin namin, anong oras na? Ayan, magte-10 o'clock no. Parang 12 pa lang yung nanonood na tao. Tangin na, parang, like, I mean, okay, hindi naman ako sobrang, like, yung iba kong episode, hindi naman wild, right? But, hindi ganyan yung number. Like, even for my 2-hour episodes, like, the number is way, like in the hundreds, 200s, parang ganun. So for me to actually do what the yun nga, like what people say you should do, and I get that kind of like response or lack of response, it's actually funny. Tawan-tawa ako na parang tangina nyo, tamo. Ginawa ko yung dapat gawin, tapos puta, yun yung impact. Piti yung LinkedIn ko. Yung LinkedIn ko kasi nga medyo malaki yung network doon. Normally yan, pag nag-post ako dyan, malaki talaga. As in, 1,000 yung inaabot sa LinkedIn. Alam mo tong video na to? Parang 67. Parang sabi ko, sabi din ng friend ko, ibig sabihin, parang people are now appreciating your long format. Sabi ko, hindi. People are appreciating na wala akong pake sa tangin ng kahit anong algorithm na gusto ko lang gawin kung ano yung gusto kong gawin.
True.
And maybe, right? I mean, again, siguro kasi wala naman monetary goal, right? Wala namang, or I need to hit 1,000 subscribers or 10,000. Wala namang ganung component. So, yeah, I mean, nakaka-relate ako dun sa Sari and Chi, yun na model. But, of course, Sari and Chi is also experiencing like massive success. Of course, with that edits, diba? Song. Which I love. Tawa ako. And
Thank you.
And kasi tangina yung, sorry yung mga tao kasi iba tangina bobo eh. Parang inisip nila, parang yun lang yun, edits lang eh. Parang gumawa lang kayo ng bastos na kanta eh. Ako kasi inisip ko, tangina hindi naman yun lang yun eh. Oo, malaking part yun na bastos, di ba? Parang ganon. But there's a meaning to, I'd like to think, please don't break my heart and say na talagang bastos lang kayo. Kasi I was like thinking, may message din yun eh.
We don't even... Kinoconsider mo bang bastos yung song?
Hindi. Kinoconsider ko siya as honest but funny. Yun...
kasi parang...
Yun yung mundo.
Walang mali siya eh. So, hindi siya bastos na song. Just because
the word edits.
Yung
Yan.
Yan.
Tama. Actually, now that you put it that way, oo nga no. So like ako, automatic sa utak ko na kasi edits, bastos. Automatic, right? Yung mom ko nga sabi, don't be bastos in the show. So bakit? Oo nga no. So sobrang ngayon ko lang na-realize yun na yun yung programming ko na hindi ko man lang naisip na may mali actually on how I view it. Like shit. Umangat pa lalo yung level ng edits para sa akin. Parang may woke moment ako dun Thank you Parang na-appreciate ko yan Na-appreciate ko ano nagagawa ng edits shit Okay talaga. Parang
It's a magical thing.
Kasi like when I heard it, automatically, kasi meron naman akong like a small knowledge of Solid. Okay, of yung the things that you guys do. Familiar ako doon. So alam ko na din talagang comedy siya. So nung nakita ko yung edits, Oo, alam kong comedy siya. But yun nga, yung brand nyo kasi nga of comedy, hindi nga siya yung Tito Vic and Joey comedy. So parang there's a high level of realness, of reality into your comedy. Yun nga, hindi siya half meant lang. It's really meant. Parang kasi these are the things that are real, happening, 'di ba? And when I heard it, sabi ko nga, tangina kasi sampal sa amin mga lalaki yan eh, para mga feeling na lalaki. Right? Na parang entitlement. It's like really, parang kasi pag may edits ka, 'di ba, parang iba eh. I really wanted to bring this up eh. Our culture as Pinoys, right? Primarily, marami din yung macho, 'di ba, yung male chauvinistic kultura. Na parang, which is weird, by the way, kasi most of guys are under sa mga babae, right? And like in our family, dominated kami by, mas marami yung babae sa family namin at yung mga babae, shit, alpha talaga. Parang feeling ko, mas malalaki yung edits nila dun sa mga lalaki. But, yun nga, culturally, ganun nga yung dynamic, right? Parang very male yung orientation or yung gusto, parating mini-message. And yung mga lyrics nung song na yon, was like, yeah, it's like reality. Like, see, if you had edits, di ba, ang daya mo pwedeng gawin. Na parang mas accepted or parang mas open or like, ganoon ko siya pinick up. I didn't, of course, memorize all the parts of the song, right? But that's how it was like, that's how I was hearing it. It's funny, but there's like a different, like there's a message to me. I don't know why. I don't know if it was your intention talaga na magkaroon ng, may ganun din siyang angle to it. But that's how I heard it.
Okay. No, but this is where I find like it's just how fascinating art is. Na how it means different things to different people, and it means what it needs to mean to you at the time.
Oh shit, yeah, no.
Kasi it's interesting na yun yung na-pick up mo from it because ako personally, like I didn't see it as ang daming kaya gawin ng lalaki.
And, no, not at all. Ako din.
I'm just really curious. It's a body part that I don't have. It's an experience I don't have. And ang hassle pag naiihi ako sa kotse and hindi ako pwede umihi sa bote. Alam mo yun, parang hindi ako pwede bumabalang tapos umihi sa may puno.
Pero FYI, hindi pa ako umihi sa bote So, hindi po...
Okay, pero kung meron ako, sobrang goal ko yun. Iihi talaga ako.
Okay.
Tapos like gaganunin, ganun.
Naka-close naman yung bote? Nakabukas.
Okay.
Parang yung golden shower, nilagay mo to a different level altogether.
Okay, yun.
Parang pass.
So, sabi, it's really more of,
curiosity.
You know what the title is? Literally what it is. Na,
we're just really wondering.
Oo.
That's so interesting. Tama, ang ganda yung sinabi mo no? Parang what it means to you. Like, yun nga, parang for that moment, if yun yung hinahanap mo or whatnot, yun yung maririnig mo. So, siguro nga, because I have a lot of frustrations generally about society, me not enjoying politics and all that stupid, well, sorry. Ayoko na pumunta ron. So, but, parang yun nga, and like, siguro, I've been looking also for women to like, do more. Parang mas may impact, like mas press. Parang yun yung I just feel that we need that balance. Like I'm so even though I'm a guy, medyo nakakasawa rin kasi na parang tangina, yun na lang yung parate yung nangingibabaw. So siguro that's why it's funny because yun nga, hindi pala intention yun, right? Parang wala lang, it's like pure curiosity, but to me it had a different meaning. Like it's still funny. It's funny as fuck, right? But, yun nga, meron akong lalim. Ang lakas ng trip ko nun, Partida, sober pa ako nun, Diba? Sober pa ako, naisipan ko siya ng deeper meaning. But how was the reception? I mean, like, generally, syempre, I think it was good, right? People have been talking about it. It's been being shared and all that. But did you get bashed too?
Bashed? No. Bashed is a strong word.
May mga somewhat negative comments.
Parang run-of-the-mill comment na hindi naman nakakatawa or corny. Pero but that parang wala lang.
Walang impact.
marami ding mga males na nagko-comment na parang, pero kung lalaki sulat ng song na, about mga pepe, parang, it won't be accepted like this. Parang,
parang arguing na parang, I guess, double standard na, paano kung lalaki yung nagsulat ng, like, the reverse of, or the opposite of it, it wouldn't be received.
Hindi mo alam. Tangin, hindi nyo naman gano'n.
Try nyo. Kasi ako personally, kung we said that, kung may lalaking nagsulat ng song na...
And it's, parang ideally, parang very honest din, it coming from honest place talaga, na parang okay lang naman eh. I wouldn't see it as offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's parang, thanks for, considering...
Kasi depende siguro kung sino nagde-deliver, right? Parang, siguro kasi yung vibe nyo, right? Yung content na nilalabas nyo has never really been, I don't know, classified as, the bastos. It was just like really fun. It's funny, it's fun. It's, it's out of curiosity. So I think, kami din, or like the most part, received it that way. Kasi wala naman kayong label di ba, na tayo na itong mga babaeng to, naninira ng mundo to Parang hindi naman ganun yung, di ba? Parang destroyers kayo di ba? Parang hindi naman kayo ganun right? Yung, kasi, yung nag-comment nun, number one, bobo siya, no?
Harsh.
So, kasi,
hindi bobo, pero
iba lang pinanggagalingan. Iba lang point of
okay, so meron din siya sariling realization niya, kawawa naman din siya, di ba, na parang ganun niya inisip agad yun, na paglalaki yung gumawa niya na double standard. Again, depende on how you package yourself, right? Depending on how you're doing the song as well. Diba? Parang, yeah.
People's comments are really just a reflection of their reality. Kaya like the way you received the song, it was very like a reflection of where you were at. So parang there's no need to take offense. It's not personal if someone gives negative feedback, because it's just how they received it, and it's just their unique experience of life.
Yeah. How interesting. Meron ba kayong mga niluluto na parang, kasi may pressure ba yan? Di ba yun na? So may pressure ba yan na, so may success to, of course you've done other content prior to this, na okay din naman yun, pero I think, tama ba? Ito yung pinaka nag-viral? Ito yun?
Only because ito yung ginawa namin ng video. Kasi yung other song, we've made other songs, pero so far we've only performed them in shows.
Okay. Ito yung talagang, may music video siya. And it was like primarily for social media to be spread.
Well, actually, it was primarily for an online blogag. So doon namin unang pinalabas. And then parang post na lang din natin, nagawa na natin.
Oo. So, since kayo nga, as Sari and Chi, chill lang kayo, steady lang kayo, kung ano yung maisipan nyo, yun ang gagawin nyo. Ngayon, may success na ganito, does it change things?
Change things meaning?
Like, we gotta do more now. I mean, sayang din tong momentum na to, or whatnot.
Meron kaming mga, plans in life. For Sari and Chi, pero hindi siya with the intention na parang, okay, dahil yung edits, nag-viral, we need to stay valuable. It's really not like that at all.
Ano sabi ng parents nyo?
Tuwa sila.
Si
mama parang, basta naman.
Kasi na-shock siya na ganito pala anak niya. She knows we're funny, but she didn't know
we're damn funny.
So na-shock.
Na-shock talaga siya. So hindi pa siya manhid sa inyo. Parang ganun. Parang you took it up. May isa pang notch pa pala na shock level para sa mama mo.
Tataasan lang namin.
Pero, syempre, after the shock,
the initial shock,
they're really proud and sobrang grateful ko lang, I'm sure ikaw din, na ang supportive lang nila mama at daddy.
They're very
Lahat ng kagaguhan namin.
like
As
sila yung nag-check o ilang views
Oo,
na.
tas sila yung
kami hindi namin, ayaw na namin tignan. Sabi niya, uy, nasa gantong views na siya. Parang, oh wow, nagbabantay ka. Nire-refresh mo lang.
Kasi ang galing din talaga. I mean, siguro now that I'm in this, trying out this space, no? Wala kang formula no? Talagang putya, parang you just have to keep doing. If you really like it, just keep doing. I mean, sabi nga, di ba, parang document more than anything. If that's that's the goal, document what you're doing rather than really crafting something. Because chances are you don't know how it's gonna be received. You don't know what's gonna click or what's not gonna click, right? And so meron ako idea, babato ko sa inyo question lang. Kasi sabi ko, isip ko, kung gusto ko talaga parang kumita, right? Gawa ko ng isa pang show. Gawa ko ng polished show. Yung parang yun nga, mas mas defined yung topics, right? Mas may finesse, mas may class yung kaya ko kasi yun, may ganoon naman ako side. Pag corporate yung ini-interview ko, medyo formal na, may level of formal. So, but etong runong, parang no, I just wanna keep it raw. So parang, in other words, I'm thinking lang, yeah, I can do two things. I don't want to convert runong into that commercial vehicle. But maybe I can do something else. Na yun yung from the get-go, talagang may commercial, it's a business, right? Like, I don't know, maybe like Solid Okay. It's a legit business. It's BIR registered and SEC registered or whatever, right? Or DTI, kung ano man, di ba? Okay ba yung ganung idea? Tama, I mean, kasi like, important din sa akin to na meron akong parang output lang. So I guess like Sari and Chi, I'm sure important sa inyo as sisters din, di ba? Na yun nga, you have something that you just really enjoy. So is that a good advice or a good approach to anything generally?
Na meron kang one thing that's for you and one thing that makes money? Is that...
Yeah. Kasi parang yung passion, 'di ba? Parang nila sinasabi like yung kailangan mong gawin, yung gusto mong pagkakitaan, maganda yung passion mo siya. Passion. Pero pag nilagyan mo ng pera yung passion, sisirain din niya yung passion mo eh, 'di ba? Parang kasi syempre, money motivated na yung passion mo. Like it takes out I have a feeling lang, I could be wrong, no? Na parang for example, I love food. Sige, tayo ako restaurant. So sa simula, saya mo. Luto ka, ganyan, or papatakbo ka ng restaurant. Next thing you know, pucha, kulang benta mo. 'Di ba? Parang masyado. So yung food, yung passion mo for food now shifts into the realities of like it's a business now. And anong thoughts mo doon, Chi? Parang ano bang
Kasi siya, it really even with this one, it still varies per person eh. Kasi although gets ko yung sinasabi mo na parang ito yung passion mo and separate it with what you do for money. But I also know people, parang si Victor, na what he does, which is acting, it's his passion, but he earns money from it. At sobrang saya niya. And inadmit niya na parang there are still parts of it that he doesn't like necessarily. But as a whole, it's something he loves, it's something he enjoys, and he earns quite a bit of money.
no, for sure. Yeah.
So
kumbaga hindi siya nabu-burn out, no? Parang hindi kinakain nung commercial aspect or nung money-making aspect yung passion niya.
No, yun yung drive niya. The fact that he earns from something he loves, yun pa yung drive niya. Pero nagigets kita, I guess dahil with me sa dance na it used to be my passion. Pero nung naisip ko na parang, okay, maybe I can perform and whatever. Parang, no, I don't like kasi na-burnout ako.
From the actual activity.
Oo. Na parang, it's different talaga per person.
What triggered your burnout to dancing?
It's,
The
It
culture?
the culture, the requirement of discipline, and it can really take a toll. To me, at least, to me, ha, it took a toll mentally and emotionally.
What's an example of the requirement of discipline like in dancing?
Well, syempre, rehearsals, as in, since sa start, as in sa nung college, morning, sayaw, classes, as in dance classes. And then middle of the day, mga GE and whatever. Come 5 p.m., tama ba? 5 p.m. till like 10, 11 p.m. rehearsals and dance ulit. So kaya
Ang
this,
lang na yun.
then like it also hurt my or hindi naman hurt, pero it affected my self-esteem, especially with weight. Dance kasi, di ba? Obviously, parang, oh, you gotta be thin and sexy, parang, but I wasn't thin and sexy enough.
Ganun?
So, that, yun, thankful ako sa experience na yun, but I will have to leave it behind now.
Yeah. And so yun nga, you left, you're no longer dancing as in as a profession or what?
Yeah.
And now it's like all in comedy. Ano ba yung
All in comedy and relaxing, what I'm
yeah.
saying? I am a freelance. I do what I want. Ay, sorry.
Hindi, okay lang yun. Mas marami na tayong mura. Okay lang yun.
Yung mama
Sorry.
niya.
Ay, Mama Ruro. Mama Ruro. Ang bobo ng Mama Ruro. I'm so sorry, Mama Ruro.
Kasi parang I think also that's the misconception about art, no? Or creativity in general, na parang it's easy. I think people,
Sabi.
marami. Alam mo yung sa mundo namin, yung mga yung corporate, yung ganun nga. Siyempre, iba yung pananaw nila na parang, ako I don't know kung naranas nyo to like, dati, nabot ko yung panahon na minamata nila pag Bachelor of Arts, pag hindi Bachelor of Science yung course mo. Alam mo yun, may mga ganung hirit, 'di ba? Na ay arts. Parang hello, tayo na yun ngayon gumawa ng mundo sorry. I mean, yun yung tingin ko generally, right? But at least in my side of the world, medyo hindi it's more of play, right? Na parang andaling umarte, andaling kasi like my wife does TVCs. Nag-talent siya for commercials. And ang galing niyang umarte, men, sa tapos parang, nakikita ko na, ang hirap nun, men. Yung, trying to sell, like, that emotion, like, you have to do something. Nung minsan may cancer siya tapos parang kalbo siya parang ganun yung role niya And, on TV, syempre, you watch like a 30-second, diba, commercial or whatever. So, parang isip mo, dali lang nun. Parang tumakbo lang yung, yun lang pala yun But, yun nga, the effort, the preparation, like, yung drain, 'di ba? Ang laki nun, ang hirap nun And not everybody is really capable of doing that. Right? So, kayo ba, na-experience nyo rin yun na parang, well, at least yun nga, your parents are very supportive. I think that matters a lot, right? Kasi marami din, dati gusto ko mag-culinary, sabi sa akin, ay, walang degree dyan. Nung time ko, wala pang, I don't know kung ngayon may degree na yung culinary So, sinabi, yun nga, parang hindi ako pwede mag-culinary kasi walang degree, walang diploma. So, paano na lang pag hindi mag-work? Parang ganun yung mga mentality. And I really think, like, in the Philippines, there's still a lot of that. There's still a lot of parang, arts is not a serious job or craft or, di ba, parang, anong thoughts nyo doon? Anong take nyo on that? And, yeah, kasi I just feel na it's not just underrepresented, but it's misrepresented. Yun yung feeling ko generally about arts. So, coming from you guys, I would love to hear what you have to say. Or if you're experiencing anything like it, or hindi naman din. Baka ako lang to.
Parang, kung based on just personal experience, I think we've been lucky na we grew up in an environment na sinusupport yung creative endeavors natin.
Mm-mm.
Kaya Even when we went to college, ayun, Chichi, dance, ako film. So you're surrounded by like-minded people who know how hard
Yeah.
creating is. So hindi namin, ako, ikaw ba na-feel? Like ako, hindi ko na feel yung side of the world na yung sinasabing parang corporate side.
Yeah.
Parang minamaliit lang yung arts. I never got into a corporate job. I never went that path. So
Swerte mo, man. Swerte mo. Parang, swerte mo. Check, baka nanonood pala yung boss ko dito, no?
Ay, boss.
Kasi I think, actually, what you just said, nandun it matters. It's what you surround yourself, where do you put yourself in that matters, right? I mean, gago ka rin naman, di ba? Para for example, artsy ka, creative ka, tapos po siya lalagay mo yung sarili mo sa primarily in a corporate, like in an office job or desk job wherein obviously you can't express, right? But I think nga kasi, more often than not also, we're parang numb to it. Not everybody is as aware or as mindful of putting yourself in a position or in an environment that actually promotes like what you want to do. Diba? Parang, kasi nga, for example, school. Pag graduate ka, ito yung mga kaibigan mo, ito yung set of friends mo, right? O pag mag-work ka, ito na rin yung community, ito yung set of office mates mo or colleagues mo. Kayo, because UP, arts, diba? Parang from the get-go, lahat kayo gumagrind na diba? Parang yun, lahat kayo dumaan na sa hirap nung arts. So, nagkakaintindihan na kayo. But, yun nga, once na i-pluck ka dun, ilagay ka into a different space, all of a sudden, you're the alien. Right? Parang ganon. Kasi, ako, yun, nafe-feel ko rin yun. Parang alien din ako. dun sa space ng corporate. Parang hindi siya natural sa akin. But I also wouldn't know how to like actually move to your space. I'm fucking too afraid, man. And of course, having a family adds to that fear, right? Na, you know, that salary that I have, right? The security, the job security that I have. Obviously, I extend that to my kids and to my wife. And I can't just jump, or I'd like to think that I can't just jump. But yun nga, but ultimately nga, yun nga, parang I think that really matters. Like where you actually put yourself in.
Yeah.
Yeah, kasi it could make or break you, right? As towards the path. Kasi, like kayo ba, parang passion na ba siya from the get-go o hindi? Interest trip nyo lang, tapos how would you describe that journey of like now, arts or comedy as passion? Is it passion already? Do you think?
Kasi, okay, like, how would you define yung trip lang versus passion?
Passion kasi parang, sa akin nilalagyan mo na talaga siya ng effort. Nilalagyan mo na talaga siya ng disiplina. Nilalagyan mo na talaga siya ng... It doesn't have to be a program per se, right? But you're putting a lot of resources in it. Not just financial, but like time, like energy, di ba? Parang ganun. Kasi kung trip-trip lang, pag weekend, gumimik lang tayo, lumabas lang tayo, sige, gawa tayo ng something. Trip-trip lang yun. Pero yung... Oh, ikaw, sige. Sorry.
Kasi diba Sari and Chi, trip-trip nga lang siya. But I think, as people, kami ni ate, we're pretty disciplined. So kahit trip-trip lang yung Sari and Chi, like kunyari, sobrang siniseryoso.
Yeah.
As in, yung edit song namin, ilang months namin,
parang...
Months talaga?
Kasi, okay, sorry, may mga breaks kasi in between. Okay. Pero talagang
10 months?
Maganon.
Parang yung the germ of the idea nagsimula na last year. And then parang dahil nga no pressure, inunti-unti lang namin pag may idea for it, write it down. Tapos for a long time di muna namin ginalaw. Pero like parte rin siya sa process na yung pinapa-marinate mo lang siya in your head. Para when you go into it at the tail end of the process, parang refreshed na yung utak mo.
Tapos kamblagag nung in-announce na kung kailan. Ang naaalala ko din, tapos nag-rehearsal na tayo. Pero pag ako mag-isa, talagang siniseryoso ko, okay, kailangan ko mag-practice. Every day ako nagpa-practice. So although trip lang nga siya, it's just for a performance, it was something important to me still.
Sure.
So talagang I treated that with so much respect pa rin. And it's trip lang pero professional pa rin ako na I need to practice every day.
So parang combination siya ng trip lang
Cash.
and passion because there is a lot of love and care put into the process. Pero it's trip lang in the sense that we do it when we want to. We're not pressured by...
But when you do it, you do it like really well. Parang there's a standard for you guys that hindi kayo maglalabas ng content or ng act na parang meh.
Yeah.
Like half-baked na.
Oo. Kasi it's interesting that it took that long, right? I mean, not a lot of people are also privy to that kind of process, to the creative process, right? Parang everybody's thinking or would like to think na, ginawa lang namin yung kahapon eh. Or parang umupo lang kami, nagsama-sama lang kami, tapos nagawa na namin yung ganun. And to your point, China, may discipline siya eh. Di ba? Parang may practice siya. Siguro lumabas yung pagka-dancer mo, yung foundation mo nga of like rehearsing. Yung ayaw na ayaw mo, di ba? Na part of dancing. Actually, hindi. May role din siya sa'yo. Because now, it's not dancing anymore.
Yeah. It's what I got out of it. As in yung character mismo.
Diba?
And
the work nga that is required. Kasi syempre, hindi lang pangalan nyo, mukha nyo mismo yun nandun eh. Right? And it's for the world to see. Right? That's just so... I mean, I have so many questions talaga on this space. Kasi nga, feeling ko ako closet artist ako. Parang closet creative ako eh. I've never... Funny because nag-test ako yung mga personality test. Ito yung mga libre. By the way, meron yung Principles U. You should check it out. It's like...
Teka, note ko kasi mahilig ako personality test.
Principles U. So, yan? I don't know if you know Adam Grant. So, he's a psychologist. Tapos si Ray Dalio, who's an investor. So, investment banking, ganyan. So, like, ibang mundo sila. Parang ganon. Tapos si Adam Grant, siya organizational psychologist.
Okay.
So, parang workplace kind of psychologist siya. Tapos, di ba, nauso dati yung mga Myers-Briggs na personality, ganyan. Siyempre, outdated na yun. Di ba? Parang makaluma na yun. So, itong Principles U is like the updated version. And it's, in fact, parang 45 minutes test yata yun. Ang haba niya na libre, As in, marami akong pinag-share nun. Share ko rin sa inyo. Marami akong pinag-share nun. Hindi tinatap. Parang, hindi mo sinabing ganito kahaba to. But,
hindi siya joke.
Pero kasi yung results niya, parang libo-libo yung binayad mo. As in, ganun ka-in-depth. Padala ko sa grabe siya. So, you guys have to do it, no? But, yun nga, anyway, I did it. And talagang lahat ng nag-lean towards being a creative and being an artist. Like, most of it talaga. As in, I would say 90%.
Just do it.
Pero yun na nga. Ito nakakatawa. I always identified myself, no, I'm a businessman. No, I'm ganito. I'm good and good. Parang, yung identity ko, feeling ko mali. Parang yung kaya feeling ko din, hindi ako nag-thrive or hindi ako nag-flourish. Because I've also been in a space that I thought na yun yung para sa akin. But naturally din, I'm actually more inclined into the right side. Right side of the brain ba yun? Right brain. Parang, it's interesting. Kasi, at 38 years old, di ba? Parang, ngayon ko siya na-discover. Tapos, I'm doing this na parang mas natural din to sa akin. May preparation, definitely, right? But, it's not laborious. Yun yung difference. And, I siguro the reason why I'm like circling around this is that whether saan ka nakatayo, right? But basta kung ano man yung craft mo, there's that level of may requirement na kailangan mong umall in. Whether creative yon or whether professional or corporate yon, meron kang disiplina na kailangan ibigay, 'di ba? Parang ganun yung hindi siya pwedeng wala-wala lang. Hindi siya pwedeng laro-laro lang na trip, yun nga. Nilimit mo na lang siya sa trip-trip lang, tapos you're expecting good results out of it. Kasi, like, with your stories, yun nga, Una-una, hindi siya overnight. Diba? 2009. Man, that's 12 years. Right? Of whether it's formal or informal. I know, Sari, that diba, you have short films. Diba? Parang I saw, I watched it, by the way.
Lolo, ang galing niya, no?
No, may diba? Mayroon.
Himalaya.
Oh, diba?
Ni
Pinanood
ate.
ko siya, diba? By the way, yung tanong ko doon, yung kambing na yun, talagang na-control nyo yun? Parang,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
asa na yung kambing na yun?
Yung kambing na yun nasa isang farm. Nagparami na siya. Tapos, masaya naman siya.
To those that don't know what we're talking about, could you enlighten? I'll put the link, but could you talk?
Yeah, so this was my thesis film na in-enter ko rin sa Cinemalaya noong 2014. So short film siya na may kambing. Ang title niya is Asan si Lolo Me? And ang premise niya is yung lolo of the family namatay. And so yung apo hindi pa alam, super close siya sa lolo niya. So yung mom nitong apo ay tinatry lang i-protect yung si apo from the knowledge na namatay ang lolo niya. So nag-uwi si mom ng isang kambing sa bahay at sinabi, ay, naging kambing si lolo.
Tapos wala lang, nanalo lang naman sa Cinemalaya. Wala lang.
Not a
Wala
big
lang.
Not a big
Wala lang,
deal.
naisip ko lang, tangina, kambing, lolo, alam mo, pigsama ko lang. Tapos yun, nanalo ako, Cinemalaya.
Dali lang naman siya eh. I
Diba?
mean,
So easy.
Hindi ko nga alam anong issue nila eh. Hindi ko alam anong issue nila na mahirap or what. Hindi naman. Okay naman, steady lang. Diba? Parang ganun eh. Parang ganun yung kwento mo eh. No? Wala lang. Hindi, pero like yun. So, syempre, college ka, thesis, diba? Sanalo ka na ng ganun. Yun nga, wala bang pressure na parang kailangan mo ituloy-tuloy yun?
at the time, kala ko ganun talaga dapat yung trajectory. Parang ang nakikita ko nun sa mga nauna sa akin, like parang higher batch sa akin, na parang, kunyan, sali silang Cinemalaya, tapos eventually, mag-aano sila, gagawa ng full-length film, ganun. Yun yung usual path. Pero na-realize ko along the way, so like, I tried to write my own feature-length film, and it just wasn't for me. Hindi ko path maging filmmaker. I don't know if I'll ever make a film. Parang it's not in my goals right now to make a film. Pero I mean, the real reason I got into film school in the first place is sobrang na-enjoy kong mag-edit ng nakakatawang video in high school. Yun yung trip ko. And so I went into film school wanting to come out of it as an editor for funny things. And eventually, after a lot of different jobs, I was able to end up there. And that's solid okay.
With the love of her life.
Wow.
The dream, Chief.
I
The
know.
dream.
Do what you want
Diba?
and be with who you want to be with, you know?
Ang hilig mo, like, pag may sasabihin akong mahaba, tapos i-undercut mo lang lahat with one statement.
Napabulong. Na meron, na may tone, na medyo mababa ng kot. And you know. Parang siyang, parang may voice over na hindi mo parang, saan galing? Anong movie yun? Shit, favorite ko yun eh.
Yung kay Will Ferrell?
Yun. Shit.
Ano yun? Stranger Than Fiction.
Yun. Yung nag-toothbrush siya, bigla na lang
May
magkasalita.
vivo siya.
What's her name? Emma
Thompson.
There you go. Parang kang ganun, Chi. Good
nice.
job. Solid. Lagyan mo pa ng konting hangin. You know?
Try ko mamaya kung meron akong...
And so now, I mean, I'm thinking ko rin kasi, like pandemic nga. And kami, sa job ko, it's always like face-to-face interviews. In fact, prior to the pandemic, I really hated video calls. Because I just felt na wala yung interaction. Parang ang dry, right? Ang sterile ng video. Parang, pwesto ka, hindi mo alam kung ano yung gagawin mo. Diba? Parang ganun. And Kasi nga, as in, every day, I would meet people.
Yeah.
Have coffee. Yun talaga yung, even, I didn't want to do the interviews in our office. I would always do it in the coffee shop in front of our office.
Mm.
Because I just felt more real.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want the room. Diba parang that, everything is just like fabricated. Parang ganun yung ano ko. And ganun yung feeling ko for video. And now, 100% of my job is video.
Mm.
And it's not so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually enjoy it because like we have now more touch points with the talents that we talk to. Like it's so much easier to talk to them. Like before, we talk to them like once or twice. Now, 3 times, 4 times, 5. Fuck, kung kailangan mo mag-usap, bro, libre ka ba? Pwede ka ba ng ganitong oras? It's like, let's do a quick Zoom call to catch up. Ganon. So, we've been thriving, right? Sa inyo, where energy matters so much, right? The exchange also. How has been the video experience, the online experience?
Nahirapan kami nung sinubukan namin mag-Zoom performance. Kaya yung edits, pre-recorded siya.
Okay.
Kasi otherwise, we would have been lagging over Zoom.
Mm.
So, I would say, hindi pa natin na-figure out yung Zoom situation
Yun nga
in terms
eh,
of performance.
And si Red na and Victor have been inviting us to perform
At their stand-up shows.
Pero hindi namin, as much as we'd want to perform with them, hindi namin magagawa kasi nga it's so ang ginagawa namin musical comedy is so different from stand-up na you could repeat what you say or yung joke mo or you can linger sa isang point mismo sa joke mo. Kami, we are following rhythm and everything. So
tapos yung difference pa sa stand-up Zoom performances, pwedeng naka-on mic ng lahat ng nanonood. So naririnig mo yung tawa nila.
Oh, may nakatulog nga sa kanya. Parang minsan nanonood ako nung bago matulog. Yung podcast niya.
Oh.
Hindi ko alam kung yun o yung parang open mic niya. Di ba? May ganun siyang format.
Yes.
Pucha, may humihilik, man.
Oh my God, oo nga. Parang naalala ko na.
Ano yun?
May humihilik. Kasi di ba naka-on nga. Kasi tatawa ka. Tapos parang sino ba yan? Sino ba yung nakatulog na yan? Parang i-kick na yan. Parang ganun. O tama, naka-on nga yung mga mic.
Pero at least, kahit pa paano, yung stand-up, medyo kaya mong mas simulate yung live experience.
May interaction.
May interaction ka pa rin. Pero, pag yung music, kailangan namin ipamute lahat. Kasi pag may may tumawa or may magsalita, mawawala, mag-i-interfere yung audio.
Baka hindi nila marinig yung mga lyric na
Which nangyari nung una nating sinubukan.
Right.
Na naka-on. Tapos napuputol-putol kami.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
So, hindi conducive sa ngayon.
Alam mo, tama. Kasi may mga friends ako na may banda, ganyan. Musicians din. Tapos, pag kunwari binook sila, lahat pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Pre-record, nga, no? Kasi nga, yung malaking factor yon na parang isang static or whatever, masisira talaga yung output nyo. Oo nga, no? Hindi ko siya naisip na yun. That's why, okay. But, is it also na-discover nyo na, oh shit, ito pala yung model natin. Like, pre-recorded, like, we can do this. And it has that kind of foundation for it to be successful moving forward.
Technically, when we start, sa video din naman kami talaga nagsimula. We would just shoot videos. So yun naman, hindi naman kami live performers talaga.
To begin with.
So it wasn't a big adjustment.
And you have the equipment already for, to record naman talaga.
Yeah, so yun, okay lang yung mga pre-recorded. Pero but we'd love to be able to perform in front of actual people again.
Mukhang pwede na no?
Sweat.
Ako personally, di pa ako ready.
Hindi ka pa. Kabada ka pa.
Parang...
Basta ako alfresco. Ako yun ang ko. Parang, even now, I meet people, but I always say, basta alfresco. Hindi pwede. Ayoko sa aircon talaga. Parang di ba rin jabarin na ako, ganyan. Basta hindi ako uupo sa aircon na meeting. Parang ganun. So, praning ka pa.
Siguro nga kung alfresco pwede. No? Kung like event na outdoors, parang pwede yun.
Pag-isipan ko pa. Hindi ko pa sure.
Parang,
Ikaw, Chi, hindi ka pa comfortable.
Hindi pa sobra. Oo. Nakakailang eh.
onting time pa.
Oo.
Onting time pa.
Face shield ka. Di ba uso yun? Ay, sorry, tinanggal na. Tinanggal na pala yun. Pwede na palang hindi na naka-face shield.
Tinanggal na.
Pwede na. Parang depende sa level. Di ba may level na yung ano.
Okay.
So parang, I think sa atin sa Metro Manila, hindi mo na kailangan mag-face shield.
Nice. Okay.
Pinaka walang kwentang, ano, I don't know, invention. So, yeah. Kasi, yun nga, parang, siguro, I wanted to ask you girls also about this, na, like, being funny, di ba? Is it easy? I mean, I don't know how that sounds, right? Pero madali bang maging nakakatawa or parating nakakatawa? Like, what does it take also to, like, generally ba, magulo kayo for 24/7? Hindi, di ba? Parang kasi yun yung ano eh, ganun ba yun? Yun bang expectation na dapat nakakatawa kayo parati na hindi kayo pwede maging corny or hindi kayo pwede maging masungit or what?
Okay. Sagot mo.
Ang sagot ko, well, I think naturally funny lang kami. So,
Sobrang, hindi ko alam saan exactly nanggagaling yung confidence na to, pero sobrang gusto ko. Usually kasi, ako yung mahihiyain na very low self-esteem. I don't know. Pero taas bigla ng self-esteem niya.
Napasahan ni Red yan.
Warren, na parang...
Napasahan ka ni Red. Si Red nagsimula niyan. Tingin ko yung confidence mo from yesterday, na parang nasa stories ka na.
Oo.
Iba ka na.
Kasi na-conquer mo na.
Iba ka na. Iba na level mo.
Iba ka na.
So, that's all I needed. Red is all I need.
I guess.
Sorry. Answer natin ito
Sorry,
naman.
balik tayo doon.
Sorry. Okay, wait lang.
Okay. Definitely masungit siya minsan.
Oo.
Definitely masungit ako minsan.
Siguro, let me frame it. I'll try to frame it better also. Diba? Na parang, is being funny, like really, like, hindi naman act, right? Parang, kasi nga, generally, kung nakakatawa ka naman din, or
So
do you have to go into a mode?
On.
Do you, may switch ba yan na you have to go into a mode also na, okay, I'm gonna wear my comedy hat. Parang gano'n, my comedian hat. O,
Kami no. Kasi, yung personality namin and how we interact with each other is
Gago lang.
gago lang talaga. As in, there are times na napakaseryoso na usapan. Pero may mga magpa-pop up na lang na nakakatawa na sasabihin ni Ate Miss minsan. Parang, kaya ko siguro nasabi na we're just naturally funny. So, joke mo. I'll take it back. Hindi siya joke.
hindi
pero
mo
pawisan na ako.
Hindi, diba? Kasi, I think, kailangan naman talaga ng natural, diba? I mean, may mga iba, hindi na nagkasalita, nakakatawa na eh. Diba? May mga ganun eh, right? Na parang wala pang ginagawa.
Yung mukha nila.
Yung mukha pa lang. So, hindi mo alam kung compliment yun, no? Tangina. Sorry, baka, uy bro, nakakatawa ka, ha? Tangina.
Ng kwarto.
Hindi kasi may ganun eh. Di ba? Yung wala pang ginagawa. Tangina, nakakatawa na itong hype na to. Parang may ganung aspect eh, di ba?
Oo.
Meron naman din, parang yun nga, act. Or, yun nga, siguro may switch. Right? Is that switch an accurate, din? Or no, yun nga, mas natural sa kayo, generally, ganyan kayo, magulo kayo, loko-loko kayo, or what, makulit kayo. Diba? I mean, mukha ba kayong hindi magulo? Sa totoo lang, masasabihin mo ba sa akin na hindi kayo magulo?
And then, magulo tayo.
Magulo is in the eye of the beholder.
Ano yung matandang term? Kiti-kiti. Di ba? Parang kayo mga kiti-kiti. Pang matanda yun eh.
Oo nga, parang kitikite. Okay, so I guess in our case, hindi siya switch. Parang, maybe mood.
Yeah.
Parang if you're just feeling a little more, ano ba?
Positive.
Positive.
I don't know.
What's the, hindi ko mahanap yung word. Parang,
Chipper. I don't know.
Yun din yung naisip ko. Chipper.
Chipper.
Chipper. Parang ano.
Parang kayo lang nagkaintindihan dun eh. Tangina, ako hindi ko talaga naintindihan yung sinasabi nyo eh. Para so please, pakisama ako sa ano. Hindi ko naintindihan yun eh. Para kasi, alam mo nung sinabi mo yung chipper, parang yung chipper. Yeah, chipper. Parang hindi. Wala. Ako wala.
Teka.
Sobrang...
Nagpa-dictionary lang. Wait.
Pero promise, it's
Promise
a real
to
word.
word.
It's a real word.
I'm sure.
Cheerful and lively.
Natawa lang ako sa inyo na parang yun nga, kayo lang yung mundo nyo. Thank you. Thank you for sharing na parang may third wheel aspect ako doon sa
Sorry.
So yun. So parang mood na parang, okay, masiyahin lang ako right now. And alam mo, hindi, now that I think of it, kasi minsan kunyari malungkot ako pero may masasabi pa rin akong kagabi. So I think it's a mindset.
Automatic, parang trigger din yun na parang pag medyo nadadown ka, papagaanin mo din. Parang ganon.
Oo. It's I guess, being able to see situations from a different perspective, parang an outsider perspective, na kaya mong pagtawanan.
Gets. May times na umiiyak ako sa'yo, mag-uusap tayo, tapos biglang tatawa din tayo.
So, it's a perspective.
So, kailan kayo mas nakakatawa? Pag masaya kayo o malungkot kayo?
So, ngayon parang pareho lang no? So, nakakatawa lang talaga kami
Generally, yun na yun. Sige, I think...
sa inspiration ko sa confidence. Nakikita natin.
Gusto ko lang i-share. Sabi mo kasi parang pinapawisan na ako sa dami ng confidence. Kaya, laging basa ang kilikili ko.
Buti hindi ka nagtitissue. Baka galing ka pa ng tissue dyan, di ba?
Lagi
ba yun? Nakaganon.
So, punasan muna niya kilikini at pahid niya yun sa mukha niya. Sayang.
Hello?
Siyempre, hindi ko lang, basang-basa pero hindi ko pinupunasan yun kasi nakahiyanan sa'yo.
Nahiya ka pa? Nahiya ka, pero kinwento mo lahat. Kinwento mo lahat ng buong pero nahiya ka pa nun sa lagay na yun. Diba? So,
sabi mo, wag mag-filter, di ba? Unfiltered tayo.
Yung kapatid mo, naka-long sleeves, mautak, di ba? At least may pinupuntahan ngayon. Di ba? May pinupuntahan.
lang.
So yun, okay, sige, nakuha ko na yung message na generally nakakatawa lang talaga kayo. So wala talaga yun. Na yun. Okay, thank you.
Sa
isa't isa.
Siyempre, I mean, humor varies per person naman talaga.
Have you tried performing individually? Meron hindi kayo magkasama? Tapos...
as in comedy lang?
Oo.
No, takot ako.
Comedy.
Takot ka? Talaga? Okay, sorry. I need to ask. Takot ka pag kung tingin mo mag-isa ka lang on like doing a comedic performance? Or why?
Alam ko kanina pa ako kasi sabi ko, I'm pretty fucking... Sorry na naman, Mama Runong. Pero I'm pretty fucking funny. Alam ko kasi sabi ko kanina pa. Pero, yung truth is, I didn't think of myself as funny naman talaga. I don't think I'm fit for comedy. Parang I feel like I lack the brains and the wit and everything.
Felt. Yan pa rin ba feelings mo?
Oo nga.
Nag-i-improve na ako. Pero the idea of trying it out mismo to perform alone, hindi ko kaya eh. Parang, hindi ko pa rin.
Wala ka pa doon. Oo, wala ka pa doon.
Wala pa ako doon.
Oh, yet. That's a very growth mindset approach. I like the yet. Si ate may yet eh.
Sister, manager, life coach. He's my everything.
Kompleto, right?
He's my everything. Ikaw ba?
Well, I would consider siguro dati gumagawa ako minsan ng mga gagong video, di ba? Na ako lang.
Yeah.
So yun pa lang yung extent ng performing solo ko. Pero parang hindi pa ako nagpa-perform.
So kaya mong magkunwari sa phone mo lang, lalagay mo sa mukha mo, mag-ano ka lang doon, papatawa ka lang doon. Kaya mo yun? Komportable ka gawin yun?
Parang nagagawa mo yun eh.
Oo.
Ikaw, Chi, kaya mo yun?
Ako ito nga din, hindi ko nagagawa yun as much or at all nga actually. Kasi, takot din ako to put myself out like sa social media na hiyang-hiya lang ako nahihiya ako kasi parang ano ba, ang daming fears of other people's opinions. And I know na yung whole cliche na parang, that shouldn't matter and whatever. But then like, sometimes there are other people who are still very much affected by others' opinions. And talagang, it's something you have to work on to be brave enough to do. And I'm not there yet. I mean, it's something I am working on naman talaga. Kaya ako yung mga Sari and Chi, ang dami ko pa rin fears to post. Wala, song or whatever.
Talaga? I mean, kasi as like thinking nga, pag kunwari, magkasama kayo, dynamic duo mode na yun di ba? Na parang kung ano man yung fear mo or ano man yung, I don't know, insecurity or whatnot, di ba? Yung weakness mo, I guess your sister will be able to compensate for that or parang at least hold you and vice versa, and vice versa, right? But you're saying also that even for Sari and Chi, minsan kinakabahan ka din. Talaga? Parang ganun. Talagang it's a general like...
Oo.
Okay.
So, I guess, it comes off as easier tuloy na duo kami. Kasi I have her holding my hand.
Sobra akong relate dyan. Sobrang din talaga. Kasi, ang tagal ko hindi ginagawa yung runong. Tagal ko na rin tong idea. Hindi ko siya magawa-gawa. So, I always ask my friends, yung best friend ko, pare, gawa kaya tayo ng show. Tangina, nakakatawa tayo eh. Ganyan din, ganyan na ganyan. Ang difference lang, hindi kami talagang magkapatid. I mean, blood, but ganyan na ganyan kami. Parang, tangina, wala pa tayong ginagawa, nakakatawa na tayo, pare. Pero feeling lang namin. Pero parang ganun, kasi nalalaki naming tao din. So parang feeling namin, ang lakas ng impact nun. Feeling lang. So I was always, like, he's an artist, like he's a, ano ba siya? Fine art. Parang nagka-show siya sa pinto. Tapos, ganun na yung level niya. So, siya, pinursue niya yung art through that. Ako, parang hindi ko rin siya magawa on my own. So, parang, ganun din, ganyan na ganyan, Chi. Parang, even though alpha ako, even though overconfident akong tao talaga, sobra akong insecure when it came to this. Sobra akong natakot talaga. As in, natawa ako kasi, insecure ka rin pala eh. Di ba? Parang, pag may mga kausap ako, wag ka mag-insecure, kaya mo yan. Kailangan. When we were younger, may term kami, AMC. So, pag nanliligaw kami ng mga babae, kailangan may AMC ka. Alam mo ano yung AMC? Agamulak Complex. So, tangina, kahit hindi mo siya kamuka, isipin mo lang na ikaw si Agamulak.
Gagana
na yun. Iba yung tingin mo eh. Iba yung aura mo eh. Lakas mo nun eh. So, syempre, dahil Agamulak din, lumabas din yung edad ko. So, pwede mo naman i-update yun kung sino man.
naman namin si Agam.
Oo, kaya enjoy.
So, pero yun, parang ganun. But yun nga, I could relate because I've been really feeling, until now, I'm na-insecure ako. That's why, gusto ko rin na may guest.
Yes.
Kasi parang nare-relax din ako na, hindi, actually, kwentuhan lang talaga to, hindi naman to, Kaya ayoko din yung, I don't really want to talk about, like, ako mismo, guys, about mindset, about failure. Kasi I'm thinking, ano yun, imposter, I'm an imposter, right? Like, I don't...
Imposter syndrome.
Oo, talaga. Kasi parang, do I really have the credibility to say something about this in this space? So parang I'm like using this na, hindi, dito ako magigain ng confidence sa Runong. Kasi I'm not alone. I have you guys, right? I have kung sino man yung guest ko. So wala man akong co-host per se, but I have guests.
Yeah.
Kaya wala akong intro. Pag, di ba, usually may YouTube mag-isa yung parang, welcome to Runong, mag-isa ka lang, di ba? Parang may ganung intro yan eh. Wala ako nun. Kasi hindi ko kayang kunan yung sarili ko, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hindi ko kaya yung, that's why I asked you, kung kaya nyo yung my phone. I can't do that shit, man. I can't. I'm doing this, but I can't do that.
It took a while. Actually, no, I'm still in the process of getting comfortable with showing up online as myself. Na, like, itong ginagawa mo, like, you are coming in as you. Pero kasi, parang, lahat ng performance ko in the past was acting. So, I was someone else. So, that's here. You're shooting yourself as a character. kaya. Pero yung to be like, hi, eto ako, kamusta, ganun, parang hinahanap ko pa yun. So parang, I mean like, the fact that you're doing a podcast, parang, I mean, congrats sa'yo.
Snaps for you.
Snaps for you. I mean, lalo na when we...
Snaps. Yeah, snaps.
Snaps.
Alam mo yun?
Snaps. Hindi siya marunong mag-snap, so I'll do it myself.
Ano yung term nyo kanina? Sorry.
Chipper.
So, chipper and snaps. Thank you. Na-add ko na ngayon yan sa ano ko. Sa vocabulary ko. Hindi ko lang alam kung kaya kong gawin ng ganun yung dating ko. Chipper.
Gawa mo eh. Ayan eh.
Pero kung ayaw niya, hey, play around. Experiment.
Make it your own.
Make it your own.
Sige. For now, iwan ko na muna sa inyo yun. Sa inyo naman ako. Okay naman ako. Okay naman ako sa vocabulary ko.
Circle back.
But, so hindi rin I mean, kasi gets ko yun okay, so may mask, like may character, like hindi ikaw, kasi like now, this is us. I mean, I'd like to think na ito yung like the normal na nilagay lang, ni-record lang. Okay, I get it.
Pero yeah, parang trinay ko nga recently. Tinest ko lang, like, nag-practice lang ako. Kausapin yung camera.
Okay.
As myself.
Okay.
Shit na, di ba? Parang...
Nakakatakot siya. And now, ngayon din na parang mas gumagawa kami ng stuff at pinupost online and just sharing it with people. Isang nangyari sa amin is naging less critical kami of people.
So namanhid ka na rin, parang ganon. Through practice, kumakapal din yung mukha mo?
Hindi. Less critical of others.
Who do it or who
do things.
Who put themselves out there. Yeah.
It's so hard to put yourself out there in an authentic way.
So yung influencers in the wild, na pina-follow niyo ba yun sa IG?
Familiar ako. Hindi ko pina-follow, pero nakita ko.
Kailangan niyo i-follow yun, man. Kasi medyo ibang level yun eh.
Yung parang photos of people taking photos of themselves. So parang
of doing influencer shit. So
pag may nakikita na rin nagsumiselfie doon na alam mong pang-influencer, like from afar.
Alam mong tumi-TikTok, parang gano'n, or alam mo may ginagawa siyang kakano, kasi definitely for the gram or definitely for TikTok. Nakakatawa siya, sorry. So, but yeah, tama ka, no? Parang, kasi like now we're trying to do it, and it's so unnatural, it's so difficult, and yet there are people wala kang phone, parang natural, kayang-kaya nila talagang gawin yung ganung hirap nga to, totoo.
So parang
hindi na ako mag-judge. Babawasan ko na.
More respect just for, just like it's not about gusto ba namin yung pinost or hindi, but it's the fact that okay, they're doing something for themselves.
Yeah.
They are sharing a piece of themselves with a large group of people, and ang tapang nila for doing so.
Pero marami akong in-unfollow na friends. Yung ma-selfie.
I mean, if that's your preference, okay lang naman eh.
I mean, kung mahilig ka sa selfie, i-follow mo. Kung ayaw mo sa selfie.
Hindi ko naman, buti nga may ganung feature eh, di ba? Hindi mo kailangan i-unfriend. Pwede mo lang i-unfollow para mawala lang sa feed mo. Minsan kasi parang puro na lang mukha nila eh. Parang nasobrahan naman.
It's naman, pero props to them na, they're confident and they like themselves.
Like in fairness sa'yo.
That's not something that everyone has.
To like yourself that much.
No, yeah. Medyo talent din yun, sa totoo lang. Kasi nga, yun, hindi ko inasahan na insecure ako. Hindi ko talaga inasahan yun. Parang, I would like to think that I'd be the last person to be insecure or to be afraid of putting myself out, because I don't have stage fright. Parang like I could do public talks, ganyan. I could do host, and I'm fine with it. As in wala akong ano. But yun nga, nung mag-isa na ako, tas may cellphone. Shit, man. It was weird to feel that kind of fear or yung hindi ka komportable sa ganung situation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. So, hindi pala tayo nag-iisa rin doon. Normal pala yun. Kasi yun nga, iisip ko kayo, syempre, ginagawa nyo talaga to eh. So, I was like thinking na, no, it's normal or it's natural.
It's such a different thing.
Yeah. I also noticed, Sorry, yun nga. So, just to pivot a bit. You're, ano ba? Teta or theta? Ano bang
Theta.
pronunciation nun? Sorry,
Theta or theta? Theta.
Theta? Theta? Oh, fancy. Theta. Ooh. Okay, sorry. Kasi ako teta yung nasa isip ko eh. Teta or theta eh. Hindi ko naisip yung theta.
Mahiya ka.
I know. I-edit ko to. I-edit ko yung teta at saka yung theta.
Wag. Gusto mo tanungin ulit para sabihin mo theta sa
Okay,
tanong.
1, 2, 3. So, Sari, I was gonna ask you, I wanted to ask you about theta.
Oh, yeah, theta. This is a bunch of fucking lies. Shit, ito na naman. Sorry, mama.
Sino ba yung nakaputi na yon? Sino ba yung nakaputi? Yung bumubulong? Yung bigla na lang may bubulong, tapos magmumura.
Sorry.
Sino ba yun? So, okay. So, it's a form of healing, right? So, it's meditation and...
Parang, yes, ginagawa siya through meditation. Tapos,
like, may chant, may mantra, may ano?
Hindi. Parang, yung, kunyari, if I'm the healer, tapos may client, like, papapikitin ko lang sila, and I do the healing. So,
It's like Reiki, or...
it's like Reiki in the sense that you're dealing with energy. Pero, it's a little more like psychotherapy, kasi kinakausap mo talaga yung client about their experience. So, like,
paano pinasok yan?
Parang, paano ba to?
Was it a personal, like, you felt that you needed it also, and then you discovered it, and then you...
Yeah, parang, there was just one point na I felt very lost.
Okay.
And, I couldn't, parang I had all these plans, pero I could not move forward with any of them. Ang dami kong gustong gawin. So, it just felt like I was in a rut. Tapos, parang naalala ko lang, like, mayroon akong friend who mentioned theta healing. I had no idea really what it was. Pero parang nilook up ko na lang yung site sa Google and booked a session, tried it, and had the session. It made me feel like, parang, it made me understand why I was getting in my own way. Why I was like self-sabotaging. Bakit na like subconsciously pinipigilan ko pala sarili ko from doing the things I wanted to do. So yun, because it worked so well for me, inaral ko siya.
Yung self-sabotaging is such a... Parang hindi mo siya naturally iisipin right?
Yeah.
But ang dami natin nag-self-sabotage like unconsciously.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. That's a scary idea, but it's not uncommon. It's a very common behavior, no? And ano yan, normally may trauma yan, parang ganun.
Yes, definitely. Like, you get into ano yung trauma mo and how has it affected you?
So para siyang combination ng energy, Reiki, tapos may cognitive behavior therapy component siya. Okay.
Yes.
So kayo magkapatid, can you, like, ikaw ba, Chi, do you go to your ate and say parang, oh, can we have a session?
I do sometimes,
Okay.
or
Isn't that weird?
Hindi naman. I mean, may ibang times na nagkukentuhan lang kami and then meron akong mapipinpoint parang, hala, may issue ako with this one. I'm reacting so negatively.
Yeah.
And then, mag-start na siya. Parang, bakit kaya? Ano ba?
Tapos ginaganon ka na niya. May ganun ba yun? Meron bang parang, paano ba inaano yung energy, Sari? Meron bang... Hold hands. Okay. Napapansin mo na lang, gumagapang na lang sa'yo, may gumagano na kami.
Hindi naman. Wala ka namang experience na gano'n. Pero dahil, yun nga, pinapag-aralan nga niya yung theta and everything, and healer na rin siya. Ang dami niyang tinuturo sa akin just to be more self-aware.
Yeah.
And there are times na ngayon, na kunyari may problema ako, nakakusapin ko na lang siya, I have this issue, and I feel, parang when I try to dig deep, feeling ko ito yung childhood trauma ko, why I'm acting this way. So parang maybe we can
Clear it.
clear it
Yeah.
session. So I'm telling you, life coach.
Yun ang next goal ko actually, no joke.
To be, kasi, well, grabe relate ako kasi doon din ako, yun din yung gusto ko. So,
Oo.
kaya ayoko i-monetize si Runong. Kasi yung monetization ko, yung business aspect of it is really into creating workshops, seminars, parang ganun yung medyo averse ako sa term na life coach. To be brutally frank. I
Okay,
don't
okay
like it.
you. Kasi sa parang, pag naririnig ko life coach, sobrang iba yung...
Oo, tsaka parang, ewan ko, lumalabas pa rin yung ugali ko na parang, tangina, sino ka para mag-coach? Ano ba pinagdaanan mo?
I see where you're coming from. Kasi parang, right before I got into Solidoki, nag-apply ako ng master's for counseling psychology.
Okay.
Parang it's always been there, just that
So before pa, you were into this already talaga. Parang you had an inclination already to psychology.
oo, na hindi ako like completely aware at that time. Parang it was calling to me for some reason.
Okay.
Pero yun nga, diba, like, film ako nung undergrad ko, so wala akong psych experience.
Tapos nanalo ka ng Cinemalaya, so wala lang yun, di ba?
Yun nga, so wala namang kinalaman sa psych yun.
Wala namang yun, di ba? Okay, sorry.
Nag-apply ako ng master's for counseling psychology. But I also came into it thinking, nakaka-imposter syndrome talaga. Yung wala naman akong crazy life experiences. How am I going to help other people going through certain experiences na never ko pang na-experience? And sobrang sakto na na-bring up mo to because just yesterday, I just watched this video about imposter syndrome. And sobrang nag-resonate lang sa akin na, kunyari, ang life coach, it's not about you knowing the experience. It's you just being able to understand people, being able to make people feel comfortable to open up to you, and just having a set of tools on how to assist this person with what they're experiencing. And kinumpare niya sa, kunyari, sa doktor, kung pupunta ko kunwari sa doktor na for a condition like, may diabetes ako, hindi mo naman tatanungin yung doktor, Dok, nagka-diabetes ka na ba ever?
Tama.
Na-experience na ba to?
Tama.
So, things can be learned.
And the term that you use is to assist, right? Kasi siguro nga, when I was like, it was all fresh to me and it was more of my biases, right? More than anything. So I was extremely uneducated when I was exposed to this. And I was like thinking, now you're supposed to figure out to tell the person what to do to get that person out of that rut. But yun nga, as I discovered, hindi. Magtanong ka. Parang tanungin mo yung you're not there to give the answers. Right?
Yeah.
You're there to trigger the introspection, to trigger and make that person realize for themselves, diba, what they're supposed to do or what's causing all of this for them to be able to live better. For that journey. And kaya torn ako. Kaya torn pa rin talaga ako. Kasi talagang parang, siguro yun, parang natakot lang din ako na parang, talaga, but you said it tama eh. Parang yung tools, you have tools. So if you're the one assisting and providing the tools, then by all means, you can really get that through education. Right? There's really a structure for it. It's not naman din unstructured coaching eh. It really is structured coaching. So, yeah, sige, fine. Na-convince ako ng konti na...
He was here to convince you.
Nice! Pursue.
But yun nga, but I mean, yeah. So that's my personal aversion to being a life coach or a certified, anything certified. I know it's important, by the way. I mean, I'm not questioning the importance of it, but the ability to practice it is now hinged on if you're certified or not also. You have to pay to continuously be able to practice it even though you've done it already. Parang ganon. Yun lang, wala lang. Sorry, yun lang yung ano ko.
We're most of us are programmed with galit sa pera. We don't parang we're brought up to believe that money is evil.
Yeah.
So it feels like a scam because parang bakit mo lalagyan ng pera? If it's supposed to be inclusive, if you're supposed to be helping people, why involve money? But I've learned that it's when you feel that way na parang you're blocking money out of your life. Kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng beliefs na walang pera sa art. Because art is so pure and money is not pure. Pero parang if we view money, for example, as an energy just as everything else is, we wouldn't be so averse to it.
Interesting. Galit ako sa pera eh. Totoo yun ah.
Gets. Sobrang, I came from there na parang ayoko ng pera. Wag mo akong babayaran for what I'm doing because what I'm doing is pure. I felt that way.
May libre pala akong session, Chi.
May galit ka sa pera?
Dati.
Galit, hindi takot.
Hindi takot. More
Ako
like,
galit.
I don't trust it.
Oo,
I don't
ako galit.
May money involved, I don't trust it.
Galit ako.
Okay.
Hindi siya takot, galit.
Because ang dami nating experiences na masama yung pera. Na parang it tears people apart. Or...
Kaya magaan yung loob ko sa sugal eh. Totoo yun. Kasi wala akong pakialam sa pera.
Yeah.
Kasi hindi ko dapat yan. Parang, I'll make it, I'll spend it. Parang ganun. Wala akong respect for it because to me, it's corrupt.
Yeah.
Parang ganun.
A lot of us are programmed.
Interesting. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you for that, may na-realize na naman akong bago. Hindi ako nagbayad nun, so thank you. And then like, ang ano kasi, di ba, syempre, it's also interesting, right? Na parang, yun nga, you guys are wearing different hats as well. Like parang, I've been hearing this a lot dun sa mga guests, sa mga previous guests ko. Essentially, that they don't identify as just one person or one craft or one, alam mo yun, there's always a minimum of duality of things of an individual. And hearing it, sa inyo din, ganun din siya right? Parang, but we're also, if we're not also mindful of this, we're also under the impression that you also identify, you identify as, hindi mo naiisip na pwede ka pala maging multiple individuals in one. Right? It doesn't, or you're wearing different hats. Di ba? Parang ganun. And sabi ko nga, like, one of the simplest and most difficult questions is basic. Who are you? Like, di ba? Sari, who are you? Parang, yung pagtanong ka ng ganun, dapat, di ba, alam mo naman masasagot mo dun eh. Pero chances are, maraming hindi makakasagot nun Like, in an articulate fashion.
Yeah.
Right? Because nga,
like right now, I don't know the most concise way to answer that.
Kasi I think that's the challenge also of the podcasts, of the books and all that. Parang you get a sense of there's a right way of doing things, right? Parang there's this path, there's this journey, or you have to be this and that, or you have to follow your idols and whatnot, diba? And you feel, or at least I felt, na parang I need to gravitate towards that identity to be able to correct myself. My first guest was Tony. So he's a deep meditation. He's a very spiritual person of Boys Night Out. So hindi halata kasi siraulo siya, babaero siya. Hindi siya nag-girlfriend, ganyan. Parang talagang, but he's an open book. So walang secret. He's a party boy. Yun yung identity niya na isa. Ang hindi alam ng tao is, mentor ko siya kung gaano siya ka-spiritual, gaano siya ka-matulungin, grabe, as in, ibang level. As in, nagtitake siya ng mga teacher training, pero hindi siya teacher. Yung ganun, talagang pinapalalim niya yung practice niya of meditation. And he said it, na parang, kasi sabi ko sa kanya, ikaw, dalawang tao may Tony, may Tony Bueno. Sabi niya, hindi, isa lang din yun sa totoo lang Yun nga, may iba-iba lang na output. So you don't have to choose. It's not an either or. It's either you're a comedian or you're a theta.
Either.
Healer. Sorry. Yeah. Ulitin ko lang. So it's either you're a comedian
Huwag kang tumawa!
or a theta healer.
Isa pa, tumawa eh.
Sorry.
Hindi, parang kasi I think maraming may struggle doon. Diba? Parang for example, hindi, daddy ako eh. Tatay ako eh. Ang primary role ko is syempre, yung health and safety ng family ko. Hindi na magsabihin nakalimutan mo na rin yung pangarap mo.
Yeah.
True that.
Diba? You were saying earlier na, you're free. Like, you do whatever you want and whatever. And, yeah. But ang point ko lang din is, bakit ikaw lang pwede? Hindi naman sabihin ikaw lang yun eh. Like, na parang you have to choose to be free. You can be in commitments or you can be bound to certain roles and whatnot and be free at the same time.
Yeah. Diba may some famous poem, yung I contain multitudes.
Sorry, wala akong...
Yung point. I contain multitudes.
Dugo na ata, dugo ko.
Okay lang. Multitudes, sorry.
Okay.
Alam mo, yan ang problema pag UP eh. Tingin ko parang may level kayo of ano talaga eh. Alam mo yun, medyo angat talaga kayo eh.
Dugo pa rin nulong ko dito.
Wala kasing poem sa dancing yata. Hindi yata masyado na yun. Ano ka ba? Ginawa
Poetry in motion, ha?
Ayaw nga, sorry.
This is the poetry.
The flow. But I mean, I think it's quite inspiring really to see. Kasi isa pa yun sorry, dami ko mga isa pa eh. Pero ito yung mga nare-realize ko as we go along. There's also that, for you to be happy, for you to do well, a lot of us think that life has to be structured also. And I'm hearing na not really.
Yeah.
Parang, meron na successful because grabe yung disiplina nila. I mean, diba, athletes, right? Like you mentioned, dancing would require talaga that kind of discipline and that routine, day in and day out, right? Nagagawin mo until muscle memory na siya and whatnot. But it's just also one way of doing things.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's another way. Ano yun? Wala. Tayo na gawin mo gusto mong gawin. Mag-enjoy ka lang.
Whatever works for you,
Some people need structure, some people need
more
spontaneity.
More freedom to move.
What gives you the confidence to do that? To stay in that like freedom mode? Kasi have you always been that way? That's why you've just been continuing din. Kasi like for somebody like me, parang in and out. Kailangan ko magpaka-straight, di ba? Kailangan ko ayusin, programahin yung buhay ko. Tapos biglang babalik ako sa magulo. Tapos hindi. Tapos parang every time bumabalik ako sa magulo, feeling ko I'm slipping. But now I'm thinking, what's wrong ba with magulo? Baka kailangan ko lang hanapin yung balance. Kaya I keep slipping because that straight line, that linear path is really not me. Or is really not for me. It doesn't suit me. But yun wala akong confidence na parang I'm still thinking na baka I need discipline in my life. Maybe these are manifestations, maybe of my traumas or my frustrations. Kaya din parang I'm forcing myself to go into a certain... Tangina, parang sinasagot ko lang yung mga sarili kong sorry parang as we're going.
That realization, yeah.
Kasi yun you see, my previous guest was si Alex De Rossi. So, si Alex, tawa lang siya ng tawa nung buong show, man Parang bawat start nung statement, tatawa siya, magsasabi siya, tas ending niya tawa. So, parang ganun lang yung buong 2 hours namin na usap. Pero ang daming laman. And I asked her, which I'm gonna ask you din, yun nga, like, anong karunungan, diba? Ano yung advice nyo, ganyan. And she's like, tayo na seryoso ka ba? Ako patatanungin mo for advice? Parang kasi sa lahat ng kwento niya, parang in a sense, walang plano. Parang hindi talaga siya yung ganun. And I was like, yun na yun right there. Yun yung wisdom dun. Na hindi kailangan polished yung buhay mo to make something out of it. right? There's beauty in chaos. There's whatever, but as long as you're aware of that chaos, I think. 'Di ba? I mean, hindi ko lang magalaw yung camera ko. Tangina yung kama ko, ang gulo-gulo eh. Pero 'di ba, parang tangina yung ito malinis, 'di ba? Syempre for show 'yan eh. Medyo maayos yan, maganda, may lighting, ganyan. Tangina yung kama ko, men. May dalawang monitor na hindi gumagana, may cellphone, may notebooks. Diba? Sobrang mess. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Shit, parang dami ko na rin. Thank you Parang,
Galing mo wala kang ginawa masyado.
Hindi pa ako certified nito.
Oo.
hindi ka pa nagbabayad. Bayad ka doon. Sorry. So I'll ask, I'll switch it here. Nox.
Wala. Come back na lang! Back!
Asan ka?
Ha? Gusto mo ba ganito?
Kumain na kami.
Oo.
Bakit na naman eh. Okay na. Inayos ko pa to sa Photoshop. Para maging ganito. Tapos, sige na, babalik ko na. Tangina. Hala, saan na kayo?
Tao, tapos biglang iiwanan mo kami sa edit.
Okay. Joke lang. Binalik ko. Tangina trap pala no. Bobo, akala ko naman di ko nakikita. Kita nyo habang ginapalitan ko yung screen no. Oo. So yun, sige. Yeah. So, Sari, Chi, anong karunungan ang pwede nyo i-share? Karunungan in the context of, yun nga, parang, when we all experience ups and downs, right? We all experience challenges. Some are heavier than the others. But ultimately, it's part of life, right? And so, with that being said, anong karunungan na pwede niyo i-share that could help us like manage or navigate life a bit better, 'di ba? Yeah, so yun. Baka may gusto kayong i-share dyan.
Sige, take turns
Oh
tayo.
my gosh, hindi. Alam ko dito, diba?
Ano gusto mo? Sige, magsasabi ako. Tapos, bigyan kitang time. Isip ka na.
Sige.
I'll
Baka
cover.
mag-break into song kayo, tangina, medyo.
Sayang, kabutan ko yung gitara.
Okay. Actually, meron akong like 2 things na gusto i-share.
Okay, so
hindi.
i-sandwich mo ko.
Hindi.
I-sandwich mo ko. Para end with a bang.
Sige.
Okay, go.
Sige. So, first.
Tatlo kasi, go.
So, ito yung tinapay sa top. Nabanggit natin kanina yung self-sabotage and yung parang it's a scary thing to realize when you're apparently like sabotaging yourself. But on the flip side of that, a very empowering thing is the fact that it's just you. And you have the power to change how you're treating yourself, how you're behaving. So kahit nagsa-self-sabotage ka nga, ikaw pa rin yun. Kaya mong i-control sarili mo. And really, that's the only thing we can control in life anyway, is ourselves. We can't control other people. But it's such an empowering thing to know that you can change how you behave. Okay, yung
Galing
palaman.
mo,
Thank you.
Galing mo
Oo, so yung palaman. Anong palaman natin?
Okay, yung palaman natin, hindi sobrang sarap. Joke lang.
Hindi sobrang sarap, napakasarap.
Okay, na-mention kasi natin yung how dance affected my character mismo, which is discipline. And hindi lang ito sa like arts where you need to practice, as in I think definitely it should be applied with everyday life, which is kasi as a person, diba na-mention ko din na parang okay, practice every day, or parang I just want to keep pushing myself more often than not, parang to just improve and work on whatever. One thing that I learned and am still in the process of learning is that rest is okay. Kaya buti, oh my gosh, so proud of myself na nasabi ko kanina na nag-rest ako. Na kasi, may fear ako of, okay, once I take a break or once I rest, I'm lazy, I don't like myself. But then, taking a break is okay and important, and it actually will make me, whether it be a better artist or a better human being. Yun yung palaman.
Sarap ng palaman na yun.
Gago, thanks!
Ako, magdadagdag ako ng isa pang palaman. Gusto mo ikaw yung tinapay.
Ay, hindi, ano yung
Ako na yung tinapay.
pati kung gusto mo ng palaman.
Baka gusto ng cheese.
Open feast sandwich na lang siya.
Sige. Tapos yung last mo, yun yung like, siguro garnish.
Cherry.
Olive na lang. Olive on top. Go.
Okay. Eto na. One piece of advice na naiisip ko dahil sa experience namin ni Chi with just, performing and putting our work out there is it's important to get clear on what your own definition of success is. Because success looks different for everyone. So some people might assume, successful, successful kayo dahil nag-viral yung video. Or successful kayo dahil na-feature kayo sa Runong. Which, success nga naman. So, thank you.
Saludo ka pa. Sorry alam ko seryoso tayo, pero thank you. Ganun pa yun. Parang umaanggil ka pa meron.
Okay, pero, kunwari, personally, ang definition namin ni Chi ng success is pag nakabuo kami, kunwari, ng kanta na natutuwa kami. And yun na yun. Everything else after that, extra na lang yun, bonus na lang yun. And if you're clear on that, hindi ka mape-pressure sa expectations ng ibang tao. Kasi nakarating ka ni. Yun.
And I guess sa expectations ng ibang tao na parang, I think that's something that we actually need to let go also, no? Parang, expectations really is what ruins a lot of things, like generally. Whether it's expectations on yourself or being parang bothered by other people's expectations. So, to your point also on being able to identify or define what success is, again, for us individuals really matters. And yeah. And to your point, Chi, nga sa rest. Kasi may ganun, no? Parang yung ibang tao, puta, bawal magpahinga, man. Pag nagpahinga ka, yun nga, sayang momentum. That's why yung mga questions, now I'm catching myself because I was asking you girls that, right? Na parang, now with edits, nag-viral, ganyan. So parang ano yung yun na yun. Yun na yung pinag-uusapan, di ba? Na parang, dapat itutuloy mo yan. Huwag mong sasayangin yan, ha? Huwag mong bibitawan yan. Kasi pag kunwari, pinalagpas mo yung isang buwan, tas wala kang nilabas, ay, naku, wala na. Di one hit wonder ka na nun. Parang, may ganun siyang thinking. But then again, why? What's wrong with resting?
Exactly.
Right? Parang, you don't come up with albums like every week or like, I don't know, there are artists who come, like, next album is what? A decade? Di ba may mga ganun to nga? But ultimately, again, to your point about being disciplined about your craft, it's because you're also like putting a lot of, effort into it. That you could actually be proud of.
Yeah.
That you'd be, so comfortable to share. To your point, Sari, na parang may tatapusin. Alam mo yun, sa amin, ang success is may matapos kami. Yun lang, di ba? Wala lang timeline yun. But ultimately, yun kasi hindi nagmamatter sa inyo yung timeline. Hindi siya metric for success. The metric for success in your context is the output. Is the fun output. Okay, so thank you. Like, I really enjoyed. This is what I've always really dreamed of. To really have conversations. And you guys allowed that. So thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to have you, to meeting you virtually, tapos having you in the show. And it was so much fun. So maraming salamat.
We had fun too. Sobrang thank you.
Thank you talaga.